Victor Echo 3, X-ray Bravo Oscar.
Victor Echo 3, repeat the rest.
Victor Echo 3, X-ray Bravo Oscar.
Roger, what's the name?
The name here is BART, Bravo Alpha Romeo Tango in Meaford, Ontario.
Bart, how's it going this afternoon, sir?
Not too bad, Jim, not too bad. Just wanted to see how my lately acquired radio, the ICOM 7300... back to you.
Well, I was monitoring on the Milford, PA, and you were great there. And I just went to my local receiver, and you must have been about 10 dB hotter, because it did peg the meter before I could trim it out, Roger.
Oh, Roger. I'm running around 500 watts right now, Roger.
Oh, Roger, it's like my antenna and your antenna are about 2 inches apart, Roger.
Exactly. Anyways, I have adjusted the audio and the compression very similar to my ICOM 7100. So hopefully it still sounds as good as you told me to in my 7100 to adjust to.
Roger. Now, like I say, I am monitoring on my local radio, and I would pull back maybe one click on the bottom end. I would pull back one click on the bottom end, Roger, and do that, and then tell me about your antenna.
Yes, the antenna is the G5RV, 35 feet, pretty much flat. I have to do the adjustment after I transmit. As soon as I transmit it, it closed the window.
I got you. Well, go ahead, and I'll talk here just for a minute, and go ahead and make that correction, 1 dB loss on the bottom end, and then we'll check out and see what it sounds like. That sounded pretty good. Now, I got to ask you, are you running a true windscreen on that mic, or are you running a sock?
No, I'm talking sideways to the microphone right now, and I just put the one click lower at the bottom end.
Oh, Roger, yeah, I think that's perfect. And yeah, if you get a chance, that windscreen, foam windscreen, I think is about $4 or $5, and it just solves so many problems. You can work that mic any way you want to work it with that windscreen on, and it'll be perfect. Okay, Roger. Okay, I just put a windscreen on it and talking straight to the microphone. Oh, excellent. Nary a wisp of any kind of conglomerate stuff coming out of that mouth. They're all beautiful words, Roger. Okay, very good. I guess I will have to spit into the windscreen then. Roger, yes, they are. Talk about one of God's great gifts. A foam windscreen is just, one of those immaculate conceptions. Just a beautiful thing that, and the knowledge of using those are just, it just solves all of the problems. It's just amazing, huh, Roger? Roger. Well, this is not a foam one. This is more of a stocking one for professional recording. It's a double one, so it should do the trick. Oh, Roger, it does. But that foam windscreen. I get back to that foam windscreen because it just stays with the microphone. Whereas with the pop, what do you call it? The actual windscreen jabber. Now you can move around those and you work those. You get past that, but the foam windscreen, you can't get hardly past that one. Okay, Roger. Maybe I'll pick one up somewhere. I'm actually going to a ham fest tomorrow, just here in north of Toronto in Newmarket, Ontario, and there will be a lot of vendors. I'm sure there will be a windscreen or two for sale. Roger, Bart. Now, we're collecting great radio stories this afternoon. Amateur radio stories, war radio stories, or commercial radio stories, just radio stories in general. Do you have a great radio story for us? I can give you a DX contact, which was, for me, was very fascinating. Sounds good. It was actually a Canadian. It was a female traveling off the coast of New Zealand. It was
It was an unassisted travel around the world, a sailboat, and she was alone. And I managed to talk to her 2 days in a row, 2 mornings in a row on 40 meters, just off the coast of New Zealand. And I thought that was an amazing contact. Back to you.
Roger, Roger. Now, you know, I did hear about a female. This was some years ago on an Art Bell show that she and he were actually talking, you know, with her on her sailboat. I don't know if that was the same lady or not. I guess, you know, there's more than one female lady out there in sailboats, you know, but it makes you wonder.
Oh, for sure. I think this one is a little bit different because it's the first one. It's totally unassisted. She's totally alone. There's no vessels around, Roger.
Roger. Well, that's the way this one was also. I forget what her name was, though, but she was, I forget, something, she had a... some kind of speciality there about, I forget what it was, but anyway, it's a small world. It could be the same person, but that was twice in a row, same day after the one day and the next day, like that.
Roger. That's when Australia usually comes up. Early in the morning, like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. The Pacific and New Zealand and Australia usually comes in on 40 meters during the summer.
Roger. Now, about what frequency was that, out of curiosity?
I believe it was 7.155, if memory serves me correctly. Usually Australians and New Zealanders hang around between 145 and 160.
So just on the left-hand side of 40 meters, Roger?
Roger.
All right. Well, I'll check down there. Charlie, K1GZL, does a lot of talking to Australia. I'm going to try to tag along on one of his Qsos. I am working on building a magnetic loop antenna. It's kind of my own design. I have some inch and a half HELIAX cable that when I finally get to it, I'll be using that as the circles, and I'll be using like 8-foot loops, maybe a couple of 8-foot loops if I can make that work. Roger.
It's unbelievable how well those little antennas can receive. It's a miracle almost.
Roger. Now this one I'm hoping to be able to transmit a kilowatt, so it's just a matter of finding the right variable air cap for that. Roger.
Roger. A lot of people, they just listen on them and transmit on a more conventional antenna, I heard.
Roger, yes, I've noticed that, but I have been experimenting with this one. I've got a lot to work with, but I've got a little SDR that's about 400 miles away that I A/B compare it to my normal 80-meter dipole versus this, and right now the 80-meter dipole is out shooting at probably about 6 dB, Roger.
Oh, okay. Very good. I don't want to tie it up, Jim. You probably have a lot of check-ins waiting after me. So it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for the report on my audio as always. And we'll touch base when I acquire another HF rig.
Roger that, Bart. And we have obviously been recording, so if you want to go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will bring up our Qso-Vlog page, and on that page be looking for an air check called My Group Air Check 82319. My Group Air Check 82319. Roger?
Roger. I'm already a subscriber, so it just pops up in my feeds every time.
Excellent. Yeah, I was going to mention that, you know, if you folks subscribe to the Qso-Vlog net, or actually it's Jim Ferguson's radio story, I think it is, that will make you receive, every time we upload something, you will receive notification for that. So there you go. Thank you, Bart. Appreciate it. You have a real good afternoon and a great weekend, Roger.
Roger, Jim. 73.
73, sir. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog page. If you've got a radio you want to check out, we are recording now live till 5, KC9VKV.